Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Keller Williams Realty Technologies presentation. Today, we are blogging your KW website. It is 2 o'clock Austin time, and as always, this is an interactive presentation. We'd love to get any input from you or any questions that you have regarding today's presentation. And by the way, we are presenting live from the Temecula Valley office. Say hey, everyone. We got some agents excited. Hope you guys are excited. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how we can help you. So let's start with blogging. All right, so here's what's on our agenda today. First question is, first thing on the agenda is, what is a blog? I'd like for you all to know what that is in order to understand first why you want to blog. So you first have to know what it is, and then why do we do it. And then, of course, we're going to show you how to do it. I'm going to dive into a live environment here in the KW systems, and we're going to show you how to blog through your new KW website. Then we're going to tell you what you can expect from blogging. Are we just spending our time blogging because someone told us that's what we're supposed to do? Or are we expecting results? Well, hopefully, if you've read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you know it's all about results, and we are expecting results. So not only are we going to learn how to blog, we want to know why we're going to blog. All right, so let's start off with what is a blog. So here's the best explanation. So a blog, according to Wikipedia, is a regularly updated website or web page, typically run by an individual or a small group. It's written in an informal or conversational style, and the words regularly updated and written in those words that are regularly and updated, written in an informal and conversational style, is what we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to be looking at being consistent and informal and making it a conversational. A blog is frequently updated. It's also known as an online personal journal or even a diary. And it's a great way to express yourself to the world. It's a place to share your thoughts and your passions. Okay, so I want you all to think about that. Share your thoughts and your passions. It's really easy to write about something that you're passionate about. It's really easy to get excited to write about something that you're passionate about. So put that passion into your blog. It's really important that you take advantage of that. Now, blogs typically appear in a chronological order, with the most recent entry updating or showing first. And that would be just like if you were writing a journal. That's exactly how a journal is, right? The information is always chronological. So do I concentrate my efforts on a blog, or do I concentrate my efforts on a website? Well, first and most importantly, a blog is a website. A blog is a type of website. A website is any place that you can visit with a URL, a Uniform Resource Locator, right? So it would be anything, yourblog.com. It allows you to view the content. So essentially, everything on the internet is a website. And I want to repeat that because I think that's really important. Everything on the internet can be considered a website. Now, blogs are created to have a really simple interface, an ability to make regular posts. And the posts that you're creating that are newest from the top, you're going to manage using a basic set of tools or code. In other words, the WYSIWYG editor or your editor tool is what you're going to use to write your blog. Your blog can have text. Your blog should have links. Your blog should have photos. So we want to take advantage of all of those things that a blog should have so that it is maximized. It has its greatest effect. So when we're saying, do I do a blog or a website, we know that it is not always easy to manage a website. It is fairly easy to write a blog. So that blog is what is going to be attached either to your website, in your website, or connect directly to your website. Now at KW, you have the KW agent websites, which are powered by the blogs are powered by WordPress. Now you can edit or remove existing posts. You can add new ones. There is no limit to the amount of posts that you can create. Now, although these websites are powered by WordPress, you still have to update them. You still have to add new content. in order to see results from search engines. So don't just think because it's powered by WordPress, it's going to do everything for you. You have to do the work. Google likes when you do the work. So that's what's going to help you with your results. Now, depending on the title, okay, the content, and the consistency, that's all going to determine on how you're going to rank in search engines. We don't just blog one time and expect for everything to happen magically. It is all about consistency, and it's all about content. So when you're adding a blog to your KW website, the process is exactly the same as creating a page, and I'm going to demonstrate that here in just a few moments. So now we know about blogging. We know what a blog is. We know where we can blog. Why do we want to blog? That's an important question that we should be asking ourselves. Why do we want to blog? So one of the reasons that we want to blog, one of the main reasons that we want to blog is so that we can provide the expertise about who we are. And really, if you've read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you're going to know the importance of being seen as a local expert. Would you all agree with that? Those of my audience, right? We talk a lot about that. And what does being a local expert mean? Well, basically, it means that when someone needs or requires information on your community, in your farm, they come to you. That makes you the local expert. So let's face it, not everyone's going to call you, email you, or even Google your name specifically when they're originally looking for community or area information. Would you all agree with that? So they're not going to look for you directly. They're going to look for the community itself. So they're going to be asking for information in the community. So we're going to give you an example. So let's say that people are looking for information about a hike and bike trail, and I'm going to use an example in Austin, Texas. We have a community called Avery Ranch. Avery Ranch is a community that I farm often. So if someone is looking for hike and bike trails in Avery Ranch, what search term would they most likely put in? Can my audience give me any examples at all? Avery Ranch hike and bike trails. Hike and bike trails in Avery Ranch. You're exactly right. Would they put in something like great real estate agents who can help me find hike and bike trails in Avery Ranch? That's not going to happen. So what they're going to be doing is looking for the local information. We want to be the local source of information, okay? Now that is a local community thing. What if somebody wanted to know more about real estate? Maybe the process of buying and selling a home, or why they couldn't sell their own home, visible information. These are also additional pieces of content that we can put in. So we can think about the hyperlocal information, and then we can put in the industry expert information. Okay, so another reason we want to blog is we want to climb to the top of the search engines, and if we're the only agent that is doing a video or a blog on the hike and bike trails of that area, then we're going to be the ones to show up. Now, naturally, you're not in the business of providing people with information on local hike and bike trail information. We're not going to make any money just by being that source, are we? No, the answer is no. So what we want to do is we're in the business of being the local expert. That's the business that we're in. And the more information we write about that local community, the more relevant that we're going to be in that particular niche, all right? So let's talk about how do I blog. So now we're going to be looking at how do I blog. So as a KW agent, you have a powerful website powered by Placer, and it's integrated with a WordPress blog. Creating a blog is the exact same process as creating a page in your website. And let me show you that process here. So I'm going to go into the live environment. One moment. In a moment, you all will see the screen come up with my KW. All right, so the screen now shows my KW. And in fact, what we'll do in this example is we need to go to another website. So give me 2 moments. Okay, great. Many of you will see that pop up show. Okay, so I'm going to hover over the technology link. We're going to click on KW website. You all should be seeing this change on the screen at this time, which you are. We're going to scroll down to go to my website, right? So those of you that are in the live audience, you can follow along. When you click on go to my website, it's going to take you to your KW website. It's going to take you to your KW website administration's homepage. And in there, we have the opportunity to view details. Okay, so now we're going to click on view details. We're going to create a blog post. All right, so what we can do here under blog post is, since we're in the admin tool under view details, we can click on the link blog post. Okay, you'll notice that we have given you 4 posts already. Those are 4 posts that every single KW agent that has a new website has. So we need to start to add our own unique content. Okay, you'll notice that we have added some posts here, and we're going to go back to those posts that we've added in a moment. In order to create a post, you click on the big plus sign. We're going to click on that. One of the most important parts of your post is your title. Extremely important. So we don't want to just put any title on there. We want to put specifically what someone would potentially search for if they were looking for information on that particular subject. Okay? So, for example, we have a couple of a couple of posts that we call Stuff to Know About Real Estate. So in my Stuff to Know About Real Estate, I want to tell people there are 4 things that you can do to improve your credit score. Okay? Now that's something we can all write about. Do you agree with that? We all have different ways of writing about that. So we're going to tell you 4 ways that you can improve your credit score. By the way, when you use numbers in your blogs, they're much more appealing to people because they know that they have a certain amount to look at. It's kind of like a checklist. So instead of doing 10 ways of improving your score, do 8 ways. Instead of 5, do 4. Just mix up the numbers so that people, it's not as common, and they can see, I only have to look at 7 things. And that's it. I don't have to read this whole thing. I can just look at 7 quick steps. So that's one way that we do it. And then, of course, so now that's the title. So the title has to be stuff, and we call it Stuff to Know About. Sorry about that. Okay, then I can put a dash here and say 4 things Thank you all for your patience while I type that in. Now, 4 things to improve about your credit score. Now, you'll notice this slug is created as you're typing. That slug is one highly search engine optimizable. It's the actual URL. I could, after I publish this page, I could copy and paste just that URL and publish it anywhere. So I could do a quick ad or something like that. And if you'd like more information on how to improve your credit score, and we highlight improve your credit score, put that slug behind it, it now takes them to our blog. So you understand, I want you to understand the power of the slug itself. So now it does that. Now we have to put in the content. So part of the content can be information that we have gathered from different places on how to improve your credit score. We all have different ways of doing that. We all have different styles of writing about that. So you can put that in the content. You'll notice this link right here is HTML. That is your source code. So you could very easily do a video, record yourself a video, post it to your YouTube channel, then take that video URL and paste it into the content. Now, instead of having a written blog, there is a video blog of 4 ways of improving your credit score coming directly from you, the source. Search engines will pick up the title. as opposed to the content that's within the video. Okay, so that's a great way to take advantage of that. So you can do either HTML, you could do text, and you could do both. You could do some HTML and then throw a video in there. Okay, really take advantage of the space that you have with that. And then we're going to do an excerpt. The excerpt is just a shortened version of the post itself. That's what shows up on search engines when someone finds a selection of those search terms. You'll have been on websites where you see a highlight of a piece of the website. You click on it, and it takes you to that blog or to that page. Okay? So once we have the excerpt, then we can choose a file where we add a picture. Every single blog should have a picture attached to it because it makes it much more visually appealing. And otherwise, it's just going to look like a lot of text. So we're going to recommend that you get an account with PhotoBucket or a company where you can purchase photos that you can then have the rights to. Please never, never, ever, never copy pictures directly from the internet and paste them onto your website. That's a copyright violation. We want to be sure that we're following all the rules, okay? So we want to be sure that you are actually, I'm going to recommend that you learn a little bit more about copyright and those types of trademarks and those types of things before you start just like knocking out a bunch of blogs. Just be aware of that. Now the meta title and meta description is what's going to show on search engines as well. So whatever the meta title is, that's the blue. The meta description is going to be the information that shows up underneath, and it's usually, again, the excerpt information that shows on, okay? And once we're done, we're going to save that piece. Now, just like every good cooking show that there is, like a good cooking show, we already have this done here, so we're going to click on blog post, and we're going to click on stuff to know about real estate, 4 things that you can do to improve your credit score, okay? And here is the information. Now you'll notice I used the WYSIWYG editor to make this bold and that text a little larger, okay? And then I made this text smaller and bold. But here are the 4 things that you can do. And we would put in our excerpt right here, which we didn't add, but we could easily add one. There's the file that we have for this particular image. Then we would add the meta title and the meta description, okay? Once we hit save, that will show up on our live website, which is coming up any moment, on our live website, where we can go into our blogs, which are going to show up towards the bottom of the page. Now, see that? There's my the 4 things you can improve your credit score, what you need to know, 5 reasons why to own a home. These are just examples of the types of blogs. The more blogs you add, the more information that's going to come. So if we are the one that is adding all of that, we're adding all the local content on all the local areas, then we are going to easily be found when people are looking for information on that local area or that specific type of information that we're providing. And at the very least, if you're not being found on search engines, you can send this information to your current clients. This is a great thing to add to your newsletters. Just information, hey, by the way, I just wrote this great blog on this. You share it out with your friends and family. That's typically how it starts. Then they start to share it. Then they start to share it. Then it gets found in search engines because you're being consistent and your message is clear on who you are, what you do, and what kind of information you're providing. Any questions from the live audience? All right. Pictures, you can do PhotoBucket or any others. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I would just look up pictures for purchase. I know of some, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Okay, Ed asked, hey, is stuff better than things to know or information? So I think he's asking stuff to know about real estate. The reason I do stuff to know is because there's a well-known podcast, Stuff You Gotta Know, and a lot of people know that. A lot of millennials are very aware of that. So I'm just kind of trailing off of that. That's the only reason I use the word stuff. Great question, Ed. Thank you. Are blog posts searchable, or over time will it be buried? Is there a way for visitors to find posts within a certain topic? So yes, over time, blogs can get buried, but if you're consistently adding more information and more content, you're going to become more relative. And anytime one of your newer blog posts comes up, and you've been consistent about blogging in that particular niche area, those other blog posts are going to follow along with that. Those are also going to show up in the search link. Yes, ma'am.
Regulations or recommendations on what can and cannot put into meta tag description areas?
Well, I don't know. If you're asking about copyright stuff like Keller Williams or KW, most likely not. That's not that's metadata. That's not necessarily copyright violation, but you're not adding yourself appropriately. You need to worry about your local brand more so than the Keller Williams brand. And this isn't about promoting yourself through Keller Williams. It's about providing information. All right. Okay. Shutterstock. Thank you, Jessica. Shutterstock is another one of those. Pam wants to know more about meta tag and meta description. So meta tags and meta descriptions are not as popular as they used to be. So in other words, when you would put in information on a website, you would just add just general information. Your meta tags and your meta description is what you are using for search engines to pick you up. So the more meta tags you use, the more metadata. In other words, the more things that you put in that related to your blog post, the easier it was to be found. Well, now what Google does is it's actually looking for the content itself and less for the metadata. If you have a place to put metadata, put it in because it will help a little. It is not what you want to focus on. You want to focus on content, content, content.
Do you want the metadata to be narrative, or do you just want it to be words?
Great question. The question is, do you want the metadata to be narrative, or do you want it to just be keywords? You want the metadata to only be keywords. You want the content to be narrative, okay? And then your tags and so forth are just keywords, right? So no, not narrative in the metadata or the meta tag. Narrative in the content itself. Lisa says, if they come to our blog site, will they be able to search past posts or the most recent? They will be able to see all posts that you've ever put on that site. All posts. Great question. Great question. All right, let's get back to the presentation. We're just about done. Okay. So what can I expect from the blog? So, you know, that's really the important thing, is we are here for a reason. We're not just trying to, we're not just writing for writing's sake. As with every business venture, there's rules that must be followed, okay? And even if you're familiar with things like copyrights and trademarks, I'm going to recommend that you read more about FTC disclosures, RESPA rules, defamation, a better word for it, if that's how you pronounce it, and privacy law. Those are really, because we got to be careful about what we say, who we say it about, and what we're, let's just be aware of these. And these are really easy to find out. And you know what? I bet you can find a blog about it. I bet you can. Really what we're after is results. That's really what we're after. I mean, if you work hard, your hard work is going to directly affect how successful your blog is going to be. So it's really about unique content, consistency. That's what's going to bring you results. Unique content and consistency. It's kind of like a hopeful gym goer denouncing the workout after the scale showed no weight loss after one day, right? You're just, that's it, I'm done. Business bloggers are often restless in a similar manner. Remember, the results are dependent on you, but what's even more important is writing this important content that you can share with your current clients. If you are working with a new buyer, say, visit my blog and look at the importance of a credit score. Look at my blog and find out what you need to do when we're in contract, because I've had two buyers, one not pay a car payment, and the other one quit her job the day before closing, right? So those are the types of things that they need to know about. So good information. So that's what those results are about. And then, of course, we want to give value. We want to provide value. You need to define what the overall objective of your blog is, right? And as it relates to your overall business goals. Is it to simply generate traffic and raise awareness? Is that why you're doing it? That's great. When it comes to writing blogs for real estate and local communities, the answer is that's yes. That's why you want to do it. Most importantly, the question you want to ask yourself is, how are you providing value? How do I provide value? Well, that's easy. You start addressing the challenges that your ideal customer is facing, right? If anybody's ever faced a challenge in your business, that's what you write a blog about. That way you provide information that they didn't even realize they needed to know. That's when you've had a successful blog. When someone comes across and go, I didn't realize I needed to know that. All right, so now send me any other questions that you all have. Audience, you all have any other questions? Okay, audience doesn't have any other questions. I'm going to give you all just another minute to ask those questions. While you all are doing that, I'm going to show you really quickly where you can get to the rest of the KW technology training. So if you are on mykw.kw.com and you click on the technology link, then you're going to see the Monday series right here. If you want to watch any of our past sessions, click on View Past Webinars. Register for the series. You only have to register for each series one time, and you'll be added to those series. All right? Now, once you've done that, you can also look at any content that we've ever created through the KW Technology Training Team by hovering over Education, clicking on KW Connect, then looking up anything you ever want to know about anything in the world. So if you want to learn more about blogging, and it's not just the KW Technology team teaching you about blogging, it's everybody in the KW system. So you can get tons of information from all of the experts. All right, I had one question that came in, and it says, can you schedule blogs to post? In other words, can I create a blog and just put it on a schedule to launch? And I don't believe that's possible at this time. I think that's a great suggestion for our future CRM and our systems to be able to do that, because I like to write a lot of stuff. Now, what you can do is write it, save it as a draft, and then put it on your Google Calendar to post it. Great question. All right, doesn't look like we're getting any other questions. Hey, I want to thank you all for being here as a part of today's presentation. We will have this available to you all on the KW Connect website, just like I showed you, in the very near future. For now, I want to make sure that you all stay on the edge of using real estate technology by using KW technology, and as always, make it a great day at Kelawaya.